ladies and gentlemen, if you wake up between 300 a.m. and 500 a.m., do not take it lightly. Do not dismiss it as a mere disturbance in your sleep or an accident of the body's rhythm. It is not simply because you drank too much water or because your dream stirred you awake. When the world is wrapped in silence, when the streets are empty and darkness still rules the sky, something greater is moving. God is stirring you. God is calling you. God is awakening you for a purpose that transcends the ordinary. That hour is not ordinary. It is sacred. That hour is not random. It is divine. Have you noticed how at that time the air feels different? It is still. It is heavy. And yet it carries a strange weight of eternity. You may feel restless. You may feel an urge. You may even feel oppressed, as though something unseen is pressing against your spirit. Do not fear this. Instead, recognize it. This is the hour when God opens the heavens to those who dare to rise. This is the hour when destinies are shaped, when prayers pierce the unseen world with unusual force, when secrets are whispered to the souls that are willing to listen. The enemy of your soul also knows this. That is why he disturbs you in the night. He knows that if you ever discover the power of these hours, your life will change. He knows that if you ever learn to rise and bow before God at 300 a.m., you will no longer be an ordinary person stumbling through life, but a vessel of power, a carrier of light, a warrior who cannot be defeated. That is why he tries to keep you asleep. That is why he sends distractions. That is why when you wake at this hour, you are tempted to scroll through your phone, to turn on the television, to do anything except bow before the one who summoned you. But I tell you this with conviction. If you wake between 300 a.m. and 500 a.m., do not waste it. Do not turn to meaningless things. Do not let slumber drag you back down. Rise up, wash your face, straighten your body, and recognize that God has knocked upon the door of your heart. He has whispered your name in the silence. He has chosen that moment to separate you from the multitude, to test whether you will respond. Do you not understand the weight of that call? The creator of the universe, the one who shaped the galaxies, who stretched out the stars, who governs the tides of the sea and the breath in your lungs, has chosen to awaken you. Not at noon when the world is noisy, not in the afternoon when you are busy with endless tasks. No, he wakes you at a quiet hour when no one sees, when no one applauds, when the world is asleep, because that is the hour of intimacy, that is the hour of revelation. That is the hour when God measures the depth of your hunger for him. At 300 a.m., the voices of men are silent, but the voice of eternity grows louder. At 400 a.m., the cities rest, but the courts of heaven are alive. At 500 a.m., while most of the earth still slumbers, God is searching for those who will rise, who will kneel, who will call upon him with undivided focus. The most dangerous thing you can do is to turn over and sleep again. Because when you sleep, you forfeit what could have been your breakthrough. When you sleep, you close your ears to the message that was meant for you. When you sleep, you waste the divine appointment scheduled for your life. There are mysteries that will never be revealed in the noise of the day, but only in the silence of the dawn. There are blessings that will never be handed to you in the crowd, but only when you stand alone before God in the darkness. There are battles that will never be won in the sunlight, but must be fought on your knees at 300 a.m. You wonder why some chains remain unbroken, why some doors remain locked, why some enemies still pursue you relentlessly. It is because you have not risen to meet God when He has called you. If you rise at that hour, do not complain. Do not speak of your worries. Do not waste words on ordinary quests. Bow deeply. Call upon God with faith. Ask Him to reveal what the enemy is planning against you. Ask Him to cover your children, your family, your work, your mind and your heart. Ask Him to strengthen you for the battles yet unseen. When you pray at 300 odd a.m., your words are not like the words of the day. They are sharper, heavier, more powerful because they are forged in the silence of sacrifice. God is closer than you think. In those hours, He bends down to hear the whisper of those who dare to rise. He marks their names. He sets them apart. He clothes them with a strength unseen by others. People may look at you and wonder why your life is protected, why doors open for you, why storms do not drown you. They do not know that at 300 a.m. you are bowed before the throne of God. They do not know that at 400 a.m. when others chase dreams in their beds, you chase the presence of the eternal. Do not despise this holy interruption of your sleep. It is not a punishment. It is an invitation. It is not a burden. It is an honor. For God only awakens those He trusts. He only disturbs those He desires to draw near. If you have been waking at this hour, you are not cursed. You are chosen. You are not being harassed. You are being summoned. Respond with faith, and you will see what others never see. Respond with obedience, and you will walk in dimensions others never touch. The enemy will tell you, go back to sleep. Your body will plead just one more hour, but your spirit must answer. God has called me, and I will rise. Each time you obey, each time you kneel, each time you pour out your heart in those hours, you are writing a story in heaven. You are establishing victories in realms unseen. You are shaping your destiny and the destiny of generations after you. When you wake between 300 a.m. and 500 a.m., you must understand that this is not just about you. It is about eternity moving through your life. These hours carry a weight that most ignore, but those who recognize them, those who respond to them, become vessels of transformation. God calls you at that hour not only to bless you, but to shape the future, to turn the course of events, to intervene in battles that are raging in silence. Do you know why God often chooses to awaken you in that specific window of time? Because the distractions of the world are minimized. The noise of men has ceased. The chatter of society is quiet. It is in this stillness that the voice of God is most clear. When the day begins, you are quickly surrounded by duties, responsibilities, conversations, and noise. But at 300 a.m., you are stripped of all those layers, left bare before your Creator. That is when God can reach into the deepest part of your being and whisper things you could never hear in the rush of the day. This is the time when your heart is most vulnerable, when the spirit world is most active, when unseen battles rage fiercely. The enemy prowls in the dark searching for souls to weaken, but God calls His own to rise and push back with prayer. Do not underestimate the warfare of the night. When you feel an unusual heaviness, when your mind feels troubled, when your body tosses and turns in restlessness, it is because forces you cannot see are moving. The ordinary man sleeps through it, but the one awakened by God rises and confronts it. That is why rising at this hour is not simply spiritual discipline. It is survival, it is warfare, it is destiny. When you bow in those hours, your words echo in eternity. Do not rush. Do not stumble over empty phrases. Speak with clarity. Speak with conviction. Speak with hunger. Tell God that you are awake because you know He has awakened you. Tell Him you desire His guidance, His protection, His wisdom. Ask Him to expose the trap set before your feet. Ask Him to silence the whispers of doubt that the enemy plants. Ask Him to renew your strength so that you can walk in purpose and not drift like the masses. Think of how powerful it is. While millions lie in sleep, their minds lost in dreams, you are awake, alert, and standing in the courts of heaven. You are not just one person whispering in the dark. You are aligning yourself with the Creator who governs everything. When you kneel, you are not small, you are mighty because you are connected to the source of all power. This is why those who rise at 3 a.m. do not live like others. They carry a presence, a strength, a light that others cannot explain. Their enemies fall before them. Their fears cannot conquer them. Their storms cannot drown them. But let me tell you something deeper. Rising at 300 a.m. is not only about asking, it is about listening. Too many think prayer is a monologue where we pour out word and then leave. No, prayer is a dialogue. When you rise in the silence of dawn, speak yes, but then wait. Be still. Open your heart. God may not shout, but He will speak. Sometimes it will come as a thought that pierces through confusion. Sometimes it will be a sudden peace that calms your restless mind. Sometimes it will be a conviction, a strong inner pull directing you to act or warning you to wait. These whispers are priceless. They are the difference between life and death, between victory and defeat. If you rise at 300 a.m., you are choosing intimacy over comfort. You are telling God, I want you more than sleep. Do you think God ignores that sacrifice? No. He treasures it. He records it. He rewards it. While others chase after blessings with desperate hands, the one who rises early finds blessings chasing him. Doors open where they should be locked. Opportunities come that cannot be explained. Protection surrounds him like a shield. Why? Because at 300 a.m., he gave God his heart. There are levels of favor you cannot unlock without the discipline of rising early. There are secrets of the Spirit you will never know until you kneel in the night. There are enemies you will never defeat until you stand at that hour. Some blessings are costly. They demand the sacrifice of your sleep, the bending of your knees, the lifting of your hands when the world is resting. Do not run from this cost. Embrace it, for the reward is greater than the pain. Look at the world. So many chase power, money, recognition, and yet they are empty. They sleep through the night and rise with weary hearts. But those who give God the first moments of the morning rise with light, rise with clarity, rise with authority. They may not have the world's applause, but they carry heaven's approval. And that approval is worth more than gold. This is not just for saints, prophets, or holy men. This is for you. Do not disqualify yourself by saying you are too weak, too ordinary, too sinful. If God is waking you, it means He has already chosen you. He sees something in you that others may never see. Do not waste the invitation. Do not bury the calling under excuses. Rise even if your prayer feels weak. Rise even if your words are few. Rise. Even if your heart feels heavy, rise. God is not measuring the eloquence of your speech. He is measuring the surrender of your heart. The more you rise, the stronger you become. At first, your body will resist. your mind will wander. But as you persist, you will notice a shift. You will feel lighter, clearer, stronger. You will begin to crave that hour, not dread it. You will begin to see answers unfold in your life with unusual speed. You will begin to sense danger before it comes. You will begin to walk in an authority that even your enemies cannot deny. Yes, 3M is not easy, but it is in difficulty that power is born. Sleep is sweet, but destiny is sweeter. Comfort is tempting, but victory is greater. If you want to live like the masses, sleep like the masses. But if you want to walk with God in ways that separate you, rise when He calls. When the hand of God stirs you awake between 300 a.m. and 500 a.m., it is not only about prayer. It is about alignment. It is about God reshaping your destiny while the world still sleeps. At that hour, heaven's agenda is moving and God is asking, will you participate or will you miss it? To rise is to say, God, I want to move with you. I want my life to flow with your rhythm, not with the rhythm of the crowd. That moment is not simply a call to whisper words. It is a call to step into the current of divine purpose. Consider this truth. Every great transformation in history begins in silence, hidden away from the eyes of men. Seeds break the soil in silence. Rivers carve their paths in silence, their heartbeats in silence. And so too does destiny unfold in silence. When God calls you in the early hours, He is inviting you into that sacred silence to shape something in you that cannot be built in the noise. If you ignore that call, you may still live, but you will live shallow. If you respond, you will live deep with roots planted in places others cannot reach. These hours are a test of what you value most. Do you value the temporary comfort of your bed? Or do you value the eternal presence of God? Do you true to your dreams in sleep? Or do you rise to pursue the greater dream that God has for you? Many say they want power, but they refuse the discipline that births it. Many say they want to hear from God, but they ignore the hour He speaks. If you truly long for God, prove it by rising when He calls. When you stand in the quiet of dawn, you are not just standing for yourself. You are standing for your household, for your children, for your city, for your generation. At that hour, you have the power to intercept what the enemy planned for your family. You have the authority to cancel disasters before they manifest. You have the ability to declare blessings that will flow into the future. Do not think of your prayer as small when it is directed to God. Even a whisper becomes thunder in the heavens. Let me tell you this. Every time you respond to God in the early hours, you are building a fortress around your life. You may not see it immediately, but walls of protection are rising. While others walk uncovered, you walk shielded. While others wonder why their lives collapse under pressure, you stand unshaken. Not because you are stronger in yourself, but because you chose to kneel when it mattered most. And do not think that these hours are only about defense. They are about vision. At Throne AM, God does not only protect, He reveals. This is the hour when ideas are birthed, when clarity comes, when direction is given. Some of the greatest decisions you will ever make are not decided in boardrooms or through advice from friends. They are birthed in the secret conversations between your spirit and God in the stillness of the night. If you rise faithfully, you will discover that God gives you strategies, insights, and understanding that far surpass the wisdom of men. But you must come with humility. You must come stripped of pride. In those hours, you cannot impress God with long speeches or polished words. You can only come as you are, weak, vulnerable, open. That is what He desires. God does not despise weakness. He despises indifference. If you are trembling but present, He will honor you. If you are weary but willing, He will strengthen you. What matters is not how strong you are when you rise, but how surrendered you are when you kneel. Now hear this truth. When you make it a habit to rise at 3,000 a.m., you become dangerous to the enemy. He cannot predict you. He cannot bind you. He cannot trap you easily. Because while others sleep through the snares, you are awake, breaking them before they tighten. The enemy fears a person who rises in the night to meet God. He knows such a person is not ordinary. They are an instrument of heaven on earth. That is why he fights you with laziness, with distraction, with heaviness. And if you push through, if you train your spirit, you will walk in a dimension of freedom that others cannot comprehend. These hours are also about intimacy. Do you realize how personal it is that God chooses to meet you while the world is absent? When you rise, it is not a performance, not a show. It is you and God alone. It is the purest form of devotion, stripped of applause and recognition. And God treasures it. He sees it. He responds to it. Others may never know the sacrifices you make in the quiet of dawn, but God will never forget them. Let me also tell you this. What you do in these hours determines what happens in your day. If you rise early, align yourself with God, and seek His face, the rest of your day will flow with order and strength. You will walk with clarity, with patience, with wisdom that others lack. But if you sleep through the call, you may find yourself chasing the day restless, scattered, vulnerable to attack. These hours are the foundation. A house without a strong foundation cannot stand. A life without the foundation of prayer in the early hours cannot withstand storms. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Do not say, I will rise when I am less busy, when I am stronger, when I am older. The call is now. God does not summon you at 300 a.m. because your life is perfect. He summons you because your life needs Him. Respond today, and the future will respond to you. Even the smallest effort counts. If all you can do is whisper His name, whisper it. If all you can do is sit in silence, sit. If all you can do is weep, then weep before Him. God is not measuring the volume of your words, but the sincerity of your heart. He sees beyond the action to the motive, beyond the appearance to the essence. And if you rise with a heart that truly longs for Him, He will pour into you what you cannot imagine. Yes, you may be mocked. People may laugh and say, why disturb your sleep? Why waste your time in the dark? But let them mock. They will see the fruit. They will see your peace when storms rage. They will see your strength when others collapse. They will see your light in times of darkness, and they will know that you carry something they do not. That something is not luck, it is God. So the next time you wake at 300 a.m., do not roll over, do not waste it, recognize it. Stand in the holy stillness. Lift your voice to God and know that you are standing in the place where destinies are shaped, where battles are won, where blessings are released. You are not weak, you are chosen. You are not disturbed, you are invited. And when God invites you, the only response that honors Him is to rise. When the hour of 300 a.m. comes and your eyes open, remember, it is not a coincidence. It is not your body deciding. It is God calling your spirit. That call is the greatest honor of your life, for it means the Eternal has set his eyes on you in the hidden places of the night. Do not dismiss it as ordinary. Do not waste it in slumber. Do not surrender to the weakness of flesh. Rise, for that is the hour when heaven bends low to earth, when destinies are rewritten, when blessings descend like rain upon the faithful. Think of this. Every time you choose to rise, every time you choose to kneel, every time you choose to whisper God's name instead of closing your eyes, again, you are stepping into eternal history. You are marking your place as one who valued the presence of God above the comfort of sleep. You are choosing power over weakness, clarity over confusion, light over darkness. And every sacrifice you make in those hours will not be forgotten. It will echo into your future, into your children's lives, into generations yet unborn. The path of the masses is wide, but it is shallow. And the path of those who answer the call of God at dawn is narrow, but it is filled with depth, with glory, with eternal reward. If you want to walk like everyone else, stay in bed. But if you want to walk with God in a way that separates you, in a way that carries weight, in a way that transforms not only your life, but the lives of others, then rise when He calls. So here is the challenge. When the next dawn comes and you find yourself awake between 300 a.m. and 500 a.m., do not ask, why am I awake? Ask instead, what does God want to do with me right now? Do not waste those moments scrolling through meaningless things. Stand, kneel, cry out, whisper, or simply sip in silence before Him. But do something. Make the darkness of that hour sacred. Turn it into an altar. Let your tears, your words, your heart be the offering. And when you do, you will see protection surround you. You will see doors open that no man can close. You will see storms lose their power. You will see clarity break forth like light after the night. You will see the strength of God fill you in ways you never thought possible. So rise, chosen one. Rise when the world sleeps. Rise when the night is heavy. Rise when the call of God shakes your spirit. For those who rise in the secret hour will shine in the open day. Those who bow in darkness will stand in light. Those who trade sleep for the presence of God will never be empty. Your destiny is too great to sleep through. Your calling is too important to ignore. Your God is too mighty to turn away from. Answer Him when He calls, and your life will never remain the same. And so the call has been made clear. This sacred interruption, this divine appointment in the quiet of the night is your personal summons from the throne of grace. It is not a burden to be endured, but a privilege to be embraced. The choice now rests with you. Will you answer? When your eyes open in the still, dark hours, remember the weight of this moment. Recognize it for what truly is an invitation into intimacy, a training ground for warfare, a forge where destinies are shaped. Do not hit the snooze button on your purpose. Do not trade eternity for a few more moments of fleeting comfort. The enemy would have you sleep, but God commands you to rise. This is your time to build an altar in the darkness, to offer the sacrifice of your sleep, and to meet with the Creator of the universe. He has trusted you with this call. He is waiting for your response. The path of the ordinary is well traveled, but the path of the chosen, those who rise when He calls, leads to a life of unparalleled power, protection, and purpose. Your breakthrough, your answer, your victory is waiting in the silence of that sacred hour. So when you wake, rise and meet your God. for in that obedience you will find that your life will be forever and profoundly changed.